So yes, I'm from a company called Artgym, and I'm just going to talk for about sort of 10 minutes about a project that we've got funding for from the government to do a project with Transition Town Kingston. We've traditionally, as a company, have always worked in the corporate sector with very large companies, and we specialise in doing things like employee engagement. And we use the arts, primarily filmmaking, art making. And we had an idea, wouldn't it be fantastic if we took what we did in business and took it into the community and do community arts-based projects? And then we thought, well, let's see if we can get funding. So we went on the internet and saw, looking at different fundings, and we saw one called, you were right, the Transformational Learning Fund, which comes from the government business and innovation skills. The only problem is we had to get the bid in 2 weeks, and if anybody's done any funding bids, then you'll know what a big job that is. So then we thought, well, who would we like to collaborate with? And that's where it sort of took us to Transition Town Kingston. And our big idea was this. We have worked around learning, that's what we do in corporate companies. But wouldn't it be interesting to get two very different generations together? The first generation being 19 to 25, because it was an adult informal learning fund, so it had to be sort of 19 upwards. And also another group, which I'm not quite there, but I'm almost close to fitting into, which is 55 plus. So two different generations. And what would it be like to get those two generations together to think about a community in terms of its past, its present and its future? And that's really what led us to Transition Town Kingston, because what really excited us about Transition Town was thinking about what a future could be like, in particular a sustainable community. Now I live in Teddington, and Kingston to me was the big shopping centre. But of course, once I started to look into Kingston in terms of preparing for the bid, I realised here we have this community that has got the most amazing history. I didn't realise how many kings, for example, were crowned in Kingston. And the more we looked into it, thought this could be a really exciting project to actually look at a very urban community, and through working with a group of residents, start to really, in a very creative way, create a vision for the future. So we went to see Transition Town Kingston in the pub, and we said, this is the idea we've got. And they said, oh, we'd like to think about it. I said, yes, the only problem is the bid needs to be in 3 days' time, so think quickly. So I think what's amazing is the stories, how we all came together really quickly and put the big idea forward. And we won it, which is fantastic. So what's going to happen? In March next year, there's going to be a series of 4 half-day events. And over those 4 events, we've got a total of 300 residents. There'll be 150 in the 19 to 25 range, and 150 in 55 plus range coming together to share stories, to share ideas, and creatively start to create a vision of what that might look like if you imagine Kingston in the future as an innovative model for sustainable living. And it will culminate in a documentary. So we've got somebody who's going to film the whole events. And I think what's really exciting about the project is it's a real opportunity for us to create, in a very creative way, a whole series of images, creative products and a film that will not only just stay within the event, but then will be shown our vision throughout Kingston. And then we thought, oh, why stop at Kingston? Let's take it out to the world, because that's the great thing about big ideas. And that's what took us then forward to actually getting the extra funding, which was to get it made into a documentary film. So it's incredibly exciting, because for me, what makes it really exciting is the idea that you do have a very urban community like Kingston. But why not? Why can't Kingston, as opposed to any other town in Britain, become a model for sustainable living. Why not? One of the reasons why we're really excited about being able to talk about it this evening is some of you may fit into the age category, first of all. So there's a little bit of recruitment there. It's really just to sort of give you a flavour of the project, and I'll be around, there's a few people nudging saying, oh, we'll sign up for that, hopefully, how you might want to get involved. So, first of all, 300 people is a lot of people that we want to bring along as residents to the project. And one of the ways that we're doing this as part of our recruitment strategy is through groups. So if any of you are responsible for running a group where you think that your people in your group would be really interested in coming along and sharing stories, making films, creating images, then please let us know. If any of you would think that would be a lovely way to spend an afternoon making films, painting, etc., I'd like to come along, then once again let us know. And then the final request is the really important thing about this whole project is about voice. It's about how community has its voice in a project right from the beginning. So what's been really important for us is that it's not just us sitting around a table thinking, now what are we going to do in the events, now we've got the funding, is actually running a series of focus groups where we've got people working with us, helping us develop and design the content. So one of the things, I suppose the first thing that we'll be doing on the 15th of December is getting a group of people who fit within both age ranges to come along. We can tell you more about the project, but also get your ideas and input about what we can do. And I think the key word for me and for all of us from Transition Town Kingston, but also Artgym, is how we can make an impact. So it's not just an event that happens, but something that creates a real ripple effect that ripples through Kingston, through Britain, and hey, let's be really big, and through to the world. For us, the whole thing about the project is how does everybody have an individual voice? Yes. So the individual perspective, but also the power of community, coming together to make really important changes in the world. And the combination of the two.
Sounds so exciting. One of the main things with a lot of these initiatives, we are focusing on the supply side. But the big change will happen if we start thinking about the demand, the change in lifestyle, the change in culture. Because no matter how much more food we grow, energy we produce, in 2050 is going to be 9 billion population.
And I think what's lovely about this project is the fact that we have got two different generations, because we felt really passionate about that.
You're not supposed to be when you're an old biddy, but
well, I know, and I think
I still have children.
My mum's 91.
Oh, good for her.
And
my mum was
and
92 when she passed.
And she's got lots to share.
Yeah.
And I think that there's something about, as you get older, your voice gets lost. So this is our chance to sort of capture.
That would be good.
Do you know what? I think now is the time to do it. I think the whole economic slowdown has really made us all think a bit and think maybe there were some other values that were interesting and that we can draw from that might have just been bypassed in earlier years.
The whole thing is that we are responsible ourselves for what we take out of it, what we put into it. And as I often say to my students, every single individual who's ever been on the earth and will be and is unique. What they take from the environment and from the planet is unique. What they can contribute is unique, because everybody's experience is unique. Whatever you may do, I do not have the right to say to you, oh, you sure that's right? Because that's based on your experience. And who can deny what your experience has been? Or yours, or mine? The trouble is, I'm going to be facetious here. The trouble is someone's pinched my broomstick. If I could find it, I'd show you all how to make them, and we could go anywhere and everywhere without using any fossil fuels. Now, I think that would be brilliant.
What, that we'd all be on broomsticks?
Why not? You can do it with less energy than cycling.
It's a whole new industry coming up.